Thanks for staying with us. You're watching the AM show. We're on to the newspapers, but not before we check out how the traffic situation is like. Roland's got that. Roland, how does it look?
Yeah, it looks okay this morning, and we're taking you through the portal traffic.com.gh, and very soon you'll get to see what the latest trend is, which of the routes you have to use, etc. And we'll just show you in a bit how it looks like. If you go to Traffic Ghana Live, you get to see the regular bypasses and the number of times throughout the rest of the day. You can have a view of which route to use subsequently when you're onto it. And many of the times we're looking at the Oxford Street Osu if we have the time, but we would always look at the bypass, the Airport City area. We'll look at Gifford Bemercamp Road, but let's start with Ring Road Central. And you get to find that currently the route is okay. If you're coming from Kanda, from Paloma area, you're heading towards the Kwame Nkrumah interchange area, you're going through the industrial area, this is the best place for you to use. You can get all those routes, just making sure that you go through this route quickly enough to get to your destination, and that is the Ring Road Central route. But subsequently, let's take you to the next routes we have on the bill, and we're going to show you the Harbour end, that is the Tema end of the Accra-Tema motorway. You go there, you can see the routes, especially coming through from the Afienya Tema Shaiman roundabout, just heading towards the motorway. And for those of you who will be using that route, either you're going to Tema, you're going to the Harbour area, you're going to main city Tema, the Harbour city itself, or you're coming to Accra, this is the best route for you to use. You have to make sure that you join the traffic as quickly as possible, because I'm very familiar with that route. I do know that quickly you can join the traffic as early as the early part of 6 o'clock so that you don't find yourself in traffic. But if you just now are getting out of home and you want to get onto the route, you'll be a bit of traffic. That's the usual trend as it is, but at least we have the route that is heading towards the Tema end onto the motorway quite free, so you can quickly as much as possible try and get that route ongoing for you. Make sure that you do that. As always, the portal is traffic.com.gh. it's where you have to get the latest. Now let's go to the bypass, the Airport City area, and this one is overlooking the Airport Shell area, and we have Airport City. We have many of those prominent hospitality places, Marriott, we have Holiday Inn, Ibis Hotel, etc., just heading towards the Vodafone area. This route will lead you from a traffic that will lead you towards the roundabout, the airport roundabout. So this one, you may have been coming from the Spinters area, Tetequashe itself. You'll be in a bit of traffic from the Polo joint area. That roundabout will lead you a bit of traffic onto the Tema or the airport roundabout, and then you head towards the Airport City area, just towards Vodafone, the former Unibank building, and then you can go through the Avions area, go through that intersection towards the 37 area, and then you're good to go. You can enter Cantonment, etc., and then you get or find your routes. Now let's go to Gifford Bemercamp route, just heading you towards Cantonment. There's a bit of traffic leading to the traffic light at that end towards Elwak, and if you want to use this route to Labadi, you want to use this route to Cantonment, towards many of the areas that lead you to Laboni, this is the right route to use. You have to join the route as quickly as possible, because already we know that the traffic seems to be congesting already, and so quickly get out of your home or many of the routes you can use here. Quickly you get through the bypass, the traffic intersection that's right there, and then you can go through your route. Let's check out either Tetequashe or any of those. Okay, so we have Tetequashe right there, and is massive dense of traffic. This one may be leading from Adenta, Medina, Zongo Junction. You live in Amrahia, you live in Otinibi, Ayi Mensa, Ebri. You're coming through this route. You're right in the thick of things. It's just about 6:42 in the studio. That's the time we have here, and already, please. It's an easy route for you. If you have those TVs or those screens, you're just a passenger in one of those cars, make sure that you go onto Facebook, JoyNews on TV. You get us live while you relax yourself in the traffic. If you're a passenger, you can watch us right there, or you can go through the YouTube channel we have, Major Online TV, and try and watch us as well. Now let's go to Osu Oxford Street. Those areas definitely will lead you to some of those areas where we don't have those routes currently. But that'll be the wrap-up of the latest traffic we have, Mama V.
All right, Roland Walker there with some traffic details. So now you know, hopefully you can get out now if you want to, make it quick either for work or wherever. We are here already. We didn't face traffic, Kojo.
No,
yeah.
no. Yeah, we got in. Lucky us, eh?
Yeah.
Nice to see you, though. You look great.
Well, thank
what
you.
You're wearing. In fact,
another one of those Ajoa Yeboah collections.
Another Ajoa Yeboah joint. All right, well, now that we know what's happening out there on the streets, let's see what's happening in here in these sheets. Of course, the newspapers are in. I've got the Ghanaian Times and the Daily Guide. I'll go through them real quick. Ghanaian Times first, and the president applauds Richard Comey for winning IBF World title. The president is a big boxing fan, and no doubt he was excited when Comey brought it home. CID investigates death threats against Manasseh Azuri Awini. 2 Chinese arrested for illegal lumbering, as well as charcoal burning at Havre. Now, this is, anyway, the Chinese again, right? Name a natural resource, and the Chinese are illegally harvesting it here in this country. Anyway.
The Chinese, that's a bit,
Yes.
some Chinese.
Okay, so what I mean is that the Chinese.
Because it's not every Chinese in Ghana that's
possibly
doing
be
that.
every Chinese.
Yeah.
Yes, that's not even possible. But what I'm saying is that if you name any resource, you will find Chinese people illegally harvesting it. That doesn't mean all Chinese people, of course. I mean, I think that goes without saying. Anyway, the I Group rejects militia tag, says it's a registered limited liability company without a license to be a security company. We know that much. And on the back page, be circumspect with your reportage. Opon Nkrumah urges media. He was speaking at the launch of a media center. I'll tell you a bit about it later. Launch ceremony was attended by the Chief of Staff and the Minister for Zongo and Inner City Development. Also, Ashma Crown's 10th anniversary celebration with Grand Durbar. That's on the back page of the Ghanaian Times. I'll do the Daily Guide quickly. Ghana begins business reforms. Tema, former mayor in 5.6 million Ghana city scandal. NDC won't disband vigilantes, Yamin dares president. That's according to the Daily Guide. And no political militia in Ghana. Also according to the Daily Guide. NIA to register Ghanaians abroad. That's on the front page as well. And on the back page, Bonsu, from prison to Black Stars. Wow. And Kotoko Trio make Stars squad. And Akono, CK Akono explains Baba Yara frustration. Finally, VRA wins 2i Project tennis tournament. And that's it.
Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the graphic. Help improve ease of doing business. VIP charges state agencies. Also, budget discipline, key to city's performance. Details of that in the paper. E-Justice program commences March 20. They say the courts is going digital. So you file your suit, you get your number. No, you file, you make payments, you get a number that is specific to you. Nobody can get that number. Details of that also in the paper today. New trend in drug abuse. Youth mix opium with weed. It used to be with tramadol. They say that doesn't get them as high, so they've moved on. And if you read the story, which I think we will get to in a bit, is telling us about the situation, particularly in Kumasi, and Komfanoche is recording some high figures. Back page, a company that used to be Cadbury, Mondelez presents working tools to cocoa farmers. And the Kufuor Foundation refurbishes Kumasi Central Prison Library. Let's check out what's in the center spread. Water energy experts converge on Accra to explore sustainable renewal options. And then Ghana, South Korea initiate cooperation on forest management. That's in the center spread of the paper this morning. Okay.
All right, let's go to the Daily Dispatch, and we have a couple of stories there, but the main one dominating the headlines, Manasseh's latest documentary, JoyNews to provide unedited visuals on request. Mills government paid 6.3 million Ghana cedis as compensation for hotel demolished under Rawlins. Okay, and that story is on page 11. And then we also have housing conditions in Volta, Eastern, Bronx, and Northern regions. And the Dispatch is now saying you can subscribe and read the Daily Dispatch on your phone. I believe they have an app now. It's easier for you to do that. But you go to the back page. It's all about how a man, one of the few who missed the flight that crashed, and meets the man who missed the Ethiopian plane crash. He was 2 minutes late. And I shared on my account on Facebook that sometimes being late is a good omen. Not all the time. Actually, not many of the times. All right, so let's go to the Custodian. The Custodian has on the front page, the Osu Castle No Security Zone. Museums and Monuments Board declares, and it's quite interesting. You also go to the website of the Museums and Monuments Board. The Osu Castle is yet to be validated to be one
that could have been edited overnight and included,
yeah, so
or the site is down.
I'm sure.
No, the site is up. We checked it.
I'm sure
it
they were
was
updated
in March. The
March
website was updated in March this year.
Okay.
The castle included?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the point we're making. That the website is up and running. It's functional and it is managed, and they update it with stories. As most recently as March, they did so. But they have not updated their list of museums
That's quite
since
interesting.
2017. So
Very
2 years
intriguing.
ago, in March 2017, they say that this facility was made a museum, but they haven't updated their website with it.
Very interesting. But then there's good news also. Just one of those areas, if you're outside Accra, or even within Accra, or you're coming from outside Ghana, you want to tour some of those nice relics we have, the Christian Mount Castle is one of them.
But expect to be searched before you enter.
I thought it's not a security.
Even
No,
though
I
it is
was.
not a
I went there last
security
week.
zone.
I was
were
searched.
searched?
Yeah, my car was stopped.
Maybe
and they
because of the
checked it.
Emil Shot Commission.
No, I went in the afternoon.
just like the way you are searched
commission
when you
was
go to
not
the
sitting.
Elmina Castle. Or the
But Dr.
No, they are
Kwesianin
not
said
searched
when
when
he
you go to
appeared,
Elmina Castle.
his vehicle was not allowed in because of security reasons. They didn't allow his vehicle in.
Yeah.
I see.
They
Akufo-Addo
told him that
gives-
it's because it's a security zone. That's what they told him. But maybe they haven't. The Museum and Monuments Board haven't updated the national security people at the gates.
Maybe it's
that it's now a
restricted to the
museum.
gardens. That's also another.
Sorry?
It's just maybe that's restricted to the gardens.
Which one is restricted?
The monuments and museum, whatever.
So the garden is a museum, but
No.
the gate is not.
Yes.
I see. The one in Cape Coast, are you searched? I think the last time I was there.
No,
think I
I
was
wasn't searched. I've never been searched going to Cape Coast or
Maybe
Elmina
I've
Castle.
forgotten. Akufo-Addo, though, gives Kome 50,000, and we told you that story earlier. A new car, that's a good one.
What type of car?
Don't know.
Oh,
So
why
it's going
does
to
it
be a
matter?
Toyota.
I'm just checking. I mean,
Frema opens refurbished MOI Press Center.
How
That's the
about the car?
Ministry of Information Press Center. And then we have Adjasa for support Taifa EP Church. That's a good one. DVL
it's
uses
the road. It's
cutting
the
edge
road.
technology,
It's the
transport. Why? You used to live in the area. Now you're no more, so you're free.
I use the road sometimes. It's terrible.
Let us go to the Daily Dispatch. The Daily Statesman is the last paper we're looking at. Daily Statesman.
No, I've got to find her.
Okay. All right. I wanted to do the
No, go ahead with the statement. You
Okay,
said
so
the
the
last
Statesman,
paper.
we have on the front page of the Statesman, big changes at GRA, the Ghana Revenue Authority. Commissioner General, 2 commissioners out.
Oh,
You have the ousted GRA Commissioner. This is the caption I'm reading.
ousted?
The ousted GRA Commissioner Kofinti, very handsome gentleman. Picture has been attached as well. So
Is he going
you
on
can-
retirement?
you can just, if you're using one of those, Zoom TVs these days, you can just zoom and see his face. It's there, right there. Very easy. In praise of every Ghanaian woman, you have a picture there, or I think it's an opinion. And the attached picture is of the First Lady, Rebecca Kufuor.
I believe it's the First Lady's birthday today. I really hope I haven't got it wrong. I hope I've remembered right. But I think today, the 12th of March,
is her birthday.
Is the First Lady's birthday. So
let's check.
Right. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
If you're not right, if we're
not right, then please save this birthday wish for the right day. But I think I am. I think I'm right.
Okay, so we have the last story to look at on the front page of the Daily Statesman newspaper. Ghana to adopt case ease of business reforms. The Vice President present technical plans. He was addressing the cross-departmental technical team. Yeah. Kojo,
so it
right.
looks like I'm right, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
We're getting confirmation.
So, happy birthday,
Her
Auntie
Excellency.
Becky.
Yes.
Okay.
Auntie Becky, happy birthday to you. Hope you have a good one.
And on the back page, in praise of everyone.
Champagne on us.
And Rebecca Foundation marks women's achievement.
I'm surprised Roland has not said your cake is on me.
Roland doesn't make those
Let's
mistakes
do the
these days.
final
He doesn't make those mistakes these days.
How can I?
He
Your
can
cake
promise,
is on me.
He can promise you, but he won't make that mistake.
How
with
can
them.
I
Here's the last newspaper, front page of the Finder.
How many steps is the cake going to be?
10 point, she's rather very simple. 10-point business reform plan to remove bottlenecks in doing business, according to Vice President Dr. Baumia. Effective communication of government policies, programs vital, that says Chief of Staff. Dirty Christians turn Achimota Forest into garbage dump. And I'm sure you know why the headline is like this, because you have a lot of Christians going there to worship, right? And they've made a refuse dump out of a beautiful place. And so it's just that, you know, who you are. No amount of fasting and prayer can change, you know.
It's
if
so
you're
amazing.
a dirty person and you pray, that won't change you. It's just attitude, right?
It's so amazing that, you know, people will go into a forest, you know, a natural reserve, God's natural reserve. Go and pray to God and then leave rubbish in the forest when you leave and hope that your prayer will be answered.
Yeah.
It's just saying.
God will clean it.
So you come to my house and come and ask me for money. And then when you are going, you drop rubbish in my house. My idea.
Okay, so we're done with the papers, at least the headlines. We will see if we can get into some details. You've opened the commissioner.
Yeah.
The GRA committee. Is it part of the so-called list that came out of
the old
CEOs who are retiring?
Well, that was a while ago, so I'll be surprised if that story
But
is
he's
now.
not a CEO, he's a Director General, I believe.
Well, I mean, position is just like that of it, or?
Because it's an authority.
Do you have a tin?
I do.
Could you have tin?
I had a tin before it became popular around.
See, before it became fashionable, you're already there ahead of your time.
No tin, no payments.
Yeah.
Well, but if he's really going, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why
Well, it's one of the things. I don't know whether we want to discuss that.
No. This is
because I wanted to look at Dr.
ahead.
Baumia's adoption of pro-business reforms, because it looks to be an improvement already for what is in place. Now, if you were told, according to the story and what the Vice President was telling the departmental team, a cross-section of the departmental team, so to speak, if you're registering the company, now the TIN number, or the TIN, actually is the number, the N is the number. The TIN will be generated automatically, so you will not be asked. And so after you go through the processes of online registration, you just get your TIN automatically. I think that's a good one. There will also be an app available, and it will cut across many other things, registration for SNCs and all the application processes. And I think it's one of the main means by which people will be encouraged to enter into entrepreneurship. But while you register your company, you're into business, then you are tracked along the way. And I think that's well, yeah, because the environment needs to be equitable for you to operate your business very beautifully. The only difficulty that maybe many people will be having is how the promise of having everybody tracked so that people can be trailed or toe-tailed in such a way that they pay their taxes, we seem to have failed on. Because one of the basic foundation was getting everybody registered so that you are tracked where you live.
How are you tracked? Like, you know,
no, the tracking means that you have been registered.
I do work for someone, they pay me cash or they give me check, but they don't withhold. How do I pay whatever it is?
So that's the difficulty. So we are not able to track the movement of cash that is used for payment and other level of transactions.
If the Ghana Revenue Authority was doing its job and making sure that all businesses are identifiable, recognizable, either through TIN, through Ghana Push GPS, and all the various systems that we want to put in place, if that was happening, then you would also be able to properly audit businesses. So if you are earning a certain amount, the expectation, and you have this number of employees, the expectation is that your salaries will be this much, you pay this much out, you pay this much tax on it. If you don't, they'll be able to track it, they'll be able to, enforce the law. But because all of these things...
They haven't come together.
Yeah. So the GRA is perhaps not yet in a position to do that part of their job. Effectively. So they do what they can, and the results are mixed. But yeah, what we're hoping is that some of these initiatives, which are so important for our country to become a bit more systematic in its business operation, they need to happen. They need to be done quickly. And again, I mean, it's another piece of pressure on the Vice President, who has emerged as the face of a lot of these initiatives.
So what?
You see the face? He said he was going to do it.
So when? Because you remember we talked about national ID, and then we talked about the Ghana Post GPS. I mean, like, this is 2019, yeah?
Yeah.
And I don't even want to go back to the various deadlines.
Is it still being used?
The various deadlines that we were given. So I'm just wondering, when are all these going to be consolidated so that we come to a point where we are not talking about widen the tax nets, let's get more, but we are actually, making it.
This is what I want to say while we're talking about the Vice President. You notice that he's under a lot of pressure because of the CD and all that. And a lot of that pressure comes from us, the media. I mean, I haven't minced words in talking about the CD's performance and so forth. Roland has tried to explain.
He made a lot of promises.
How the CD
Expectations have been very high.
However, one thing that we haven't really had the opportunity to explore is the other side of the matter. So the CD depreciating, is that actually the problem? Or are we negatively impacted by the CD depreciating because our economy is not performing well? I don't know if you get what I mean. So the fact that your currency depreciates does not necessarily mean that automatically your life should become harder. But if your economy is not doing well, then whenever your currency depreciates, your life becomes harder. So perhaps we might be looking to the Vice President or even the government and telling them, make our city stronger. But what we should actually be saying is fix our economy. Okay, so for example, in the US, they want their city to, they want their dollar to actually depreciate so that they can have more favorable trade terms with China. Okay, so sometimes when your currency devalues, you benefit. Imports are cheaper, So the question is it that are we focusing properly when we complain about our city, or should we talk about our economy? And who is in charge of our economy? What's the reason why our economy is not doing well?
Is the economy not doing well? I think the economy is doing well.
All right.
Well, that is
we don't have a lot of time.
If it was, we wouldn't feel the impact of the city, because think about it this way. So your let's say one city is worth $2. $1 is worth 2 cities. Right.
Is that what it is?
I'm giving an example. I said, let's say $1.
Let's use the right figure so people will be aware. It's 5 cedi what?
I want to give a very simple example, so work with me. Let's say $1 is worth 2 cedis, and then your cedi devalues. So $1 is now worth 4 cedis. It shouldn't necessarily be a problem to you if, for example, the price of products on the market is reduced, so that the thing that you could buy with 2 cedis, now you can buy it with 1 cedi. Then the devaluation of your cedi will not affect you that much.
But that's
if
not the
there are
situation
jobs,
because
people are able to earn money, then the devaluation of the cedi would not affect them that much. So sometimes it is the value, it is the state of your economy that determines whether your cedi's, your currency's performance affects you.
I agree with you.
Thank you. The end.
All right, and with that said, we have to go. Unfortunately, we couldn't touch on this very important story on the front page of the graphic. The new trend in drug abuse, mixing opium with weed, no longer with tramadol. But good morning to Mr. Daniel Keno, my good friend in Kumasi, who filed the story. We'll find time and deal with this proper. You know, just to say happy birthday as well to the First Lady who celebrates her birthday today. I got a message from Richard Dacko, who is Press Aide, Office of the First Lady, and from the entire office. They're wishing you, ma'am, a happy, happy birthday, just like we are as well. Enjoy your birthday today.